MyMiniFactory is excited to see the return of the Walking Dead All-Out War for Mantic Games on Tribes on MyMiniFactory. I'm Matt, Community Manager at MyMiniFactory, and I'm here in foggy Nottingham, the wargaming capital of the country, to speak with Mantic Games about how the Dead went digital.
Hi, I'm Clive, oftenly referred to as Cleric online for most of our fans at Mantic. I head up our digital services here at Mantic, so The Walking Dead very much falls under our digital realm.
Nice. So could you tell me a little bit about The Walking Dead All-Out War?
Sure. This is a project that's it's very old for us now at Mantic. We first brought it up as a Kickstarter really over a decade ago.
Wow.
We worked with Skybound and Robert Kirkman to basically officially take everything from the graphic novels and turn it into a tabletop skirmish game. We did it in a way that kind of feels like a board game, but also can be expanded into a full-on tabletop battle game, players playing each other and all sorts. So you'll see all the characters from the graphic novels represented through the tabletop.
Okay, so it's based on the graphic novels, not the TV series, isn't it? Okay,
yeah,
wonderful.
Or for American fans, comic books.
Sure, yeah. That's...
Yes.
So what mechanic do you think sets All-Out War apart from other tabletop skirmish games?
So very often you'll play a skirmish game with a player versus player. You and I will play against each other. The thing I love about The Walking Dead more is All-Out War actually makes you fight the environment as well. So you're trying to play against your opponent, but you're also trying to do it in a way that the walkers aren't getting you, but they're getting them. So you're kind of battling PvP VE, so environment. And with the way that the events will happen, as random things will happen each round, and you've got to try and stay on top of walkers because after a while, more walkers come, more noise, more mayhem, more chaos ensues, and you're kind of fighting for your life and trying to beat your opponent. And that's one of my favourite features that we've captured in the All-Out War.
So are there different scenarios, different situations that play out, different objectives, different groups? How refreshable is the scenario?
So within the core rules, there's one scenario that you play, which is your generic. It teaches you how to play. There was also a solo play version of the game as well called Prelude to Woodbury,
nice.
Which we actually gave in the welcome pack. So when anyone joins the tribe, they will get the solo rules to play on your own. First of all, to test it out before you inevitably then go and get your mates and go, I printed this game, it's awesome. Let's try this one night. But the actual story arcs we have give you themed scenarios each time. So with Days Gone By, which is the first arc we concentrate on, there are 6 scenarios that you play through, and each month we give out a few more of those scenarios, so eventually you just have them all. Then there are lots and lots of story arcs that we've done all throughout the history of this game. I think we're up to about 8 or 9 story arcs by the time we kind of stopped producing it for a while, then bought the license back and then started again. So there's a lot of content there, and there's lots and lots of scenarios to keep it fresh. You can even choose to play entirely narratively, so it tells you which characters apply to which scenarios, and you can follow the storyline yourself. See if you could fare better than Rick, or alternatively, how would Negan have fared in that situation? Great, I'll take Negan and the Saviours and see how they would perform in the story. So the flexibility is there to do whatever you want with this game.
What if scenarios, alternate. And is there any sort of rulings on who can be paired with each other?
There are some faction specific things, and in the future we've got an app coming along which will allow you to see how those kind of factions play out together. But mostly, if you're a fan of the graphic novel or comic books, you'll know a lot of the time factions are a bit blurred, alliances are a bit blurred, and you know it's set in the post-apocalyptic wasteland. Anything could happen. Anyone can work with anyone up to a certain point.
Can you tell us a bit more about how the tribe will be structured and who are we getting in the first month?
As I mentioned previously, the story arc is the key. So in the first 3-4 months, it's all about Days Gone By. So all the characters that would have been represented in that story arc with those scenarios will be fed through the tribe. There's a few extra things in there that didn't exist in the retail range that we're going to bring in, but mostly we're sticking to what was released within the core waves previously.
Nice.
So if you missed it back then, now's a perfect chance to step in and get the minis you might have missed and print them at home. So the first month focuses on Rick, it's got Morgan and Dwayne, and it's because Rick in the graphic novels and comics wakes up in the hospital And the first thing that he does is kind of venture out into this unknown what's happened. He's unaware, he was in a coma, he was shot. So the first thing he does is go back towards his house, and there you've got Morgan and his son Dwayne have taken residence. So then the next step is to go to a police station, and he restocks, he gets his bag of guns, which you'll also find in there. And the whole kind of first arc is about him meeting Morgan, realising the world's gone to pot, and then starts his journey off to Atlanta, which is then where he'll get in a load of trouble, meet Glenn, and then, so those are your characters in the first pack, is the characters that are specific to the storyline.
Sure, so they're setting up the arc of what you'll recognise as The Walking Dead.
Yeah, exactly. And then the next step will be going off to the campsite and finding other survivors, which will be month 2, month 3.
Amazing. So what can we expect to see in future months on the Tribe?
Along with other story arcs, it gives us an opportunity to make things in STL that we couldn't really produce previously in plastic.
Right, yeah.
So things like Dale's RV, which previously is only an MDF kit, which is quite rare. You can't really buy them anymore.
Yeah.
We don't sell them anymore. So we've gone and turned this into an STL model instead.
Nice. Okay.
So as part of, I think, month 3, we'll be giving this out in all of the Tribe members packs. So you'll be able to print your own Dale's RV along with Dale and the scenario where it makes sense that that RV is used.
Amazing. So like the plastic sort of printed version wasn't previously available. It was MDF before, but this is brand new for the Tribe.
And there'll be things like that happening throughout the Tribe's lifetime. I think we sketched it out, and we've got over 2 years of content to feed through this Tribe. So it's not going anywhere for the time being. It's in there for the long term.
So why make the move to STLs, and particularly why MyMiniFactory?
We at Mantic have actually dabbled with STLs and digital for the last 3 years. We tried it on our own first with our Vault service, which is offering some of our files, which were hard to get, or resin minis, and did them as STLs. We've kind of pushed and been at the front of trying to do STLs right for a long time. And we've used MyMiniFactory in the past for Frontiers and other campaigns as a storefront. But we've seen Tribes really kick off, and we kind of felt that that was the right marketplace to put The Walking Dead and bring something that you didn't really have to your users. You've got sci-fi, you've got fantasy, you've got buildings, you've got all this stuff, but we're trying to bring an entire game system that's a well-known IP and a fan favourite game and bring it onto MyMiniFactory.
I've also seen that you're hosting a painting competition on canvas only at MyMiniFactory. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Just to celebrate the launch of The Walking Dead All Out War. It was actually, I think Angeli brought it up as a suggestion. We could do this as a competition. And we were like, yeah, sure, that sounds great, why not? So we put up Negan and Rick's shield for anyone to download and obviously take part and paint. And I think that competition's still ongoing.
So what does this mean for the future of physical releases for All Out War?
It actually is reassuring, because the more that we put out digital and more new customers that we bring on, the more reason for us to push out more new releases as well. So this isn't either or. We're not stopping physical releases because we now have digital products as well. If anything, we're just going to complement both streams. So if something new comes to the digital side, we'll produce it in resins, and we'll produce minis for it in the physical side as well. So no one's left behind. If you enjoy The Walking Dead All Out War, you'll be able to enjoy it your way.
So new subscribers to the Tribe can earn $10 to spend on MyMiniFactory. What sort of other projects have Mantic Games put on MyMiniFactory? What could customers find in your store?
We've actually done quite a few different projects with MyMiniFactory. We actually started off with Armada, a naval battle game with ships and sea battles, so you could use it on that. We have Dead Zone as a game system has been put on there with scenery, and it's all sci-fi and squad based. We've got Epic Warpath on there, which is our tiny 10-15mm war game. So all of those are on the store now. The discount, the $10 credit, could go on any of those products we sell already. So I'm going to give a little example of how noise and how walkers move around and interact with things. So let's assume I'm going to activate Rick first, and he's going to sneak over the barrier to the middle. Now, sneak doesn't draw noise, and it won't draw the attention of any of the walkers. It's a way of moving around the map nice and quiet, so you're relatively safe. I say relatively because Rick is about to get hurt a lot. So he's there. And then for Glenn, I actually want to go and get the supply counter that's over here and check them. Now, a sneak is not enough, so he's going to have to run. So a run is an 8-inch move. So he's run, and he's going to check the supplies. So I would then just flip it over to say it's searched. I would draw a random supply card and see what he found. But because I've run, that then means I generate noise. So once I generate noise, every walker within 10 inches will shamble towards the source of the noise, which unfortunately for Rick means there's 3 walkers will shamble straight to Rick because he's in their kill zone, and a kill zone was this marker around the model. Anyone within it, they'll focus their attention there. Here we have a walker that will hit the car and just stop because the car blocks it. This one is actually just out of range of 10 inches. So this walker won't hear anything, won't move, it just stays where it is. So now we've got a little fight situation here where Rick is in the kill zone. He has 3 walkers. So I'll do a little example of his combat. In melee, Rick rolls a white dice. He then has a hatchet, which adds another white dice to that attack. So he rolls 2 white. The walkers roll a simple 1 red to defend, but because there's 3 of them, they'll roll 3. And Rick unfortunately got 1 success, which is terrible. The walkers got a lot more, so they're not hurt at all. Rick's lost, bounces back an inch and just sits there. Didn't go particularly well for him. So then the next round, the walkers would then be able to then attack Rick, and they would then hit him in the same way. Glenn over here that caused the noise, brought those walkers in, it's still nice and safe because no one's near him. So you'd go through to the next round, you'd start again, and then you'd be moving around and dealing with the threat. And that threat keeps following you through.